to the new features webinar, end of January 2021. My, how the time has flown. Excuse me. Cannot believe it's 2021. I cannot believe it's the end of January, but what I can believe is how excited I am to show you all the new features that we have in store for you. Planning to do this on a monthly basis with some regularity. So, you know, if you ever do seem to be missing out on your dose of Glue Up content, you please just reach out. From looking at a quick glance of the attendee list, I believe you all probably know who I am, Brian Jackson with Glue Up, you know, customer success manager here, and just I recognize, I think, all the names so far, so we've probably worked with each other in some form or another. Couple housekeeping items, as well as slightly delaying to allow people who are coming from other events to kind of jump on and log in. But a couple housekeeping items. This will be available on YouTube. It'll be sent out as a follow-up to the event. So if you aren't able to join us for the entire thing, or you need to share with a colleague, that'll absolutely be available. In addition, some of the new features that I'm going to be showing off today are add-ons to your contracts. I will be sure to be very clear about that. And then some of them are just features that are ready to go, ready to use on your platform. So something for everyone, I think, is at least the idea, right? So we're gonna have some fun today. If you have questions, you know, you can feel free to put them in the chat. We do have some Glue Up representatives or team members kind of monitoring. And if you do want to use the Q&A function, that's also fine. I will be answering any question you got towards the end of today. Plan to go about 30 minutes, so we'll probably wrap up around 2:30. No hard stop though. If we're rocking and rolling on questions, I'll be happy to keep answering. But let's just dive in, because there's quite a bit to show off, and I even have a fun video, I think, for the team here. So anyway, let's go ahead. I'm going to share my screen. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to share computer sound. I always forget to do that. All righty. So first thing I'd like to talk about today is recurring payments. Not a ton to show off here, except to point out where this will be enabled. And I wanted to not edit the version of this to show you what this would actually look like when you change it, but to show you kind of what you will see. So if you have the membership module in Glue Up, this is a feature that is now enabled for those of you who use either PayGauge or Stripe. If you use PayGauge in the US or Stripe in Canada, those are the two payment platforms that we integrate with in those respective countries. If you use those, we can now use those payment processors to store credit card information for your customers. What will happen is you will, and this is turned on for memberships that are already existing, you can activate recurring payments found right here. I'm going to show you what this will look like to edit it. But you can activate your recurring payments right here. What will that mean? The next time, and this is only for memberships, the next time your member goes to renew, part of that payment screen will have an option to either store their credit card information or not. And if it is stored, the next time they go around to pay, as long as there are no approval steps set up, their payment will be made automatically. I do want to show you what this might look like, and just bear with me as this does take a second. Whenever we're editing membership type versions, there is quite a bit of work done on the server side, but I think it's worth looking at. So when we edit the version of the membership and head to new version pricing, as I'm sure you all, or most of you have kind of undertaken this this task of setting up new versions of your memberships, maybe to change the membership price, we can turn off if we don't want to have recurring payments right from here. And then note that there is another option here, and it's authorize only recurring payments and deactivate other payment methods. So only recurring payments will allow to be taken, right? So that way you cannot kind of mess up your recurring payments by someone wanting to pay by check, right? So that is the ability there. This is a feature that a lot of people have asked for. We are really happy to bring this to you because we think this will bring about a level of automation, and I think it's a signal of a level of automation that GlueUp will have kind of to come. So if there's any questions about recurring payments, please don't hesitate to ask. I will happily address any questions you have. But it really is that simple, that as long as your PayGauge is set up, as long as your Stripe account is set up, and do remember PayGauge in the US, Stripe in Canada, want to be mindful of both of our target audiences for this. If you have that set up, your members will be able to turn on recurring payments so that they don't have to log in and pay manually every time. So that is the first feature to show off. Number two, let's talk about community. Now, this is a feature, or I'm going to show off kind of a couple features that are only available if you do have the community add-on to your contracts. And if you are interested in doing so, please just reach out. We can set something up to demo it further. But a lot of our clients have been taking advantage of this. So I want to show this off because we have made what I believe some real steps forward on this one. So the first thing I want to always show off with the community is normal community, posting on the wall. As an administrator of this organization, remember we have just a fake Chamber of Commerce that you all have probably seen me use from time to time. If you're an administrator for this account, you can now delete posts on communities. This was not always possible, and we're really happy to bring this about. In addition, post, right? And remember, we can always post documents and pictures. If we do maybe a test post here, once it loads, apologies, the webinar always makes everything run very, very slowly. But if we test post here, what I will be showing off is the ability to now edit your own posts. You cannot edit anyone's posts, but you can now edit your own. This did come up while I'm talking with a client the other day, where they said, sometimes I post something and I realize, a day later that there's an error in the post. How do I do this? And we're good to go. We can edit that now. So really excited there, along with all the same features that your community affords you. And I'm sort of burying the lead a little bit because the other add that we've made to our community is the ability to share documents. You can see this here. No files uploaded right now here. But once they can be downloaded right from here. This allows you to, within your community, share documents that might be pertinent to that community. And even better is you can share documents within groups as well. So if there's a specific group of people that you want to have a training manual, you can add that within that group. If there's a document that you want all of your members to have, you can add it to the overall community. To take a look at that, what that looks like in the back end, if you do, again, have that community module activated and added onto your account, there will be a file sharing button right here that allows you to upload files to your community. Any type of file, it can be downloaded right from here. And just note that when you do upload the file, you do select where you want it to go. And what's great here is you have that option to select any part of the community that is going to best make use of that document. General community is going to be your overall community, and then all of your groups will be listed under there. Each plan does start with 1 gigabyte of storage space. And if you need more than that, I have not seen that happen yet, but if you do need more, just reach out. We'll figure out something to achieve whatever we need to achieve. Absolutely. So to review, just because there were a couple things there, the big highlights here are that you can now delete people's posts on the community. You can edit your own posts, and then also you can share documents or make what we are kind of terming a document repository on your community. So pretty exciting stuff. And as always, I may be a broken record in this way. If you have any questions on that, please just let me know. All right. So moving on, the next one will be, I do want to show off our new step that we've added to your workflow. So under any membership, right now we have pulled up Silver membership, for example. And under the workflow settings, you can now add another new step. Some of you maybe have noticed this. This is a feature readily available to all customers to add an application fee step. To review, we've always had the ability to have an application fee. It's just under extra fees in your price configurations. That hasn't changed. However, in the past, we only had one option. You could charge this application fee at the time of applying, but at the same time, they would be charged for the membership. So what we have done is we've added a step called application fee. You can see it visualized here. So the way that this is currently stated, and I think that this is just helpful to think of it in this way, someone would apply. They now have the ability to pay an application fee prior to being approved. Why is this important? We had customers who had requested, and maybe this going forward could be something you could use, that they wanted to have their potential members pay for the application fee separately from the membership fee. Basically, they wanted people to pay the fee before being approved, so that before being approved, they wouldn't then be prompted to pay, say, the $1,000 for memberships or $200 for memberships. They would instead be charged just whatever it takes to cover the maybe expenses or something to that effect. Or you can use this as just another tool to generate revenue for your organization, especially if you are an organization that has approval set up. Activation is always going to come at the end, so I will speak kind of the least about that stage. But if you do have the approval step set up, this is a great little tool that you can use so that even people who don't get approved by your organization for memberships, maybe you can recoup some of those expenses that you incurred upon trying to process their application. Again, to review, this is found under editing a membership type, any specific membership type. If you have an application fee enabled, you can have it be paid at the time of application before approval, and then finally someone would pay for be prompted to pay for that membership. So, and again, let me know if there are any questions about that whatsoever. Let's go ahead and talk about sort of a nebulous subject, and that's our information validation. Anyone that uses the contacts module, so all customers, you've probably seen this and probably thought to yourself, what the heck am I looking at here? The idea here, and then I'm going to talk about a little bit about what this is going to look like going forward. The idea here is that anytime that someone adds in new information to the system, you will be asked to review it and ultimately approve it. So why? So say you have a database, a working database of 1,000 contacts, and these are the normal people that you might work with on a day-to-day basis. You work with these people, you invite them to your events on a regular basis. They attend your event several times. You can keep track of that within their contact profile. That's all, a really great part of the system. However, before, we didn't have the ability to capture and then apply to their contact profile changes that might happen. And so when people go to, say they've attended 4 of your events, they attend the 5th event and their address has changed. When they enter address, when they use the same field address that's on your contact profile, that information will be captured by our information validation system. And the system will ask you, do you want this to now be applied to their contact profile? So if we go in here and use, say, Marisol, one of my colleagues as an example, we can review, and we'll ask you, these changes will be applied on the following objects, the CRM and membership profiles. And going forward, probably within the next few months, we are going to release this also for memberships so that anyone that applies or renews and is able to update their membership profile, this will also happen for. Currently, it's only for events, but that will change. And it will tell you what their last name is, when it changed, right? What caused it to change the profile photo. And sorry, Marcel, if you're watching, to kind of put you on the spot here. But I think it's a really good example. You can see that all this stuff is changing, and we can go ahead and submit that. So we can say to make the updates to the contacts that exist already within this system. You can probably see immediately why this might, be so kind of powerful. It allows you to make changes to contact profiles on the fly based on information that your contacts are giving you. You no longer have to say, oh my goodness, notice that Brian's contact, he put in a new address. Should we reach out to him and figure out, all that stuff? If you trust your contacts, you can trust them to know that that it'll go in there. One thing, you do have the ability to have this be automatic, and I'll pop into the settings very quickly. But I want to talk about that really quickly because it is found under privacy settings, because there is a slight kind of nuance here. So if you choose to automatically approve future data sync up requests, so anytime that you would want to validate that information that you're getting from your contacts that is different from what is already in the contacts. So anytime that happens, you can choose to automatically approve that. But remember, human beings are chaotic. They put random information in. So I can see if there was a huge database, you might not want to make it automatically approved. However, if you work with the same people all the time, I could definitely see this being a really useful little tool to just allow them to keep you up to date themselves. It's less work for you, less time you're spending, less energy exerted, right? You have more time to work outside of GlueUp. Our goal is to save you time within GlueUp so that you spend more time actually working in the communities that you're serving. That way we can be the glue that holds your community together, right? And then the last thing here is enable notifications to team members when a contact is updated. That is just going to be found up here in your notification settings. And again, you can find this under your privacy settings, under data validation settings. I'm sure that everybody, or not everybody, excuse me, I'm sure a few of you have seen this and thought, what the heck is this? And that's what it is. It's a bit complex, but I think that ultimately it's a really useful tool. And going forward, it's, I think, a sign of more things to come for GlueUp. We're going to be doing this for memberships. We're going to be helping you gather information about your community in an automated fashion. Okay, so to just pull back a little bit, remember we've talked about recurring payments. We've talked about the community add-on, the changes we've made to that. We've talked about the application fee, and then we've also talked about our information or data validation settings. The last thing I'm going to do is talk a little bit about speed networking, which is a new feature that we have debuted. I'm going to show a video, and if everything works correctly, you will be able to hear it because I have put the sound through. So we'll make sure that that works. And then after the video, I'll kind of explain just a little bit more. But just, sit back and enjoy. It's about 6 minutes, but I think it gives a really good demonstration. So.
Hello there. I'm William Lee, Business Development Director here at GlueUp. We are so happy to have you here with us today as we showcase our newest feature called the Speed Networking Solution. Our Speed Networking Solution is a brand new feature that you can only find here at GlueUp. It's the newest way to virtually build relationships and also grow your network. It's a fully immersive virtual networking experience that recreates the meaningful aspects of meeting someone in person, but without the physical limitations. Now let me show you how easy it is to set up a speed networking event on your GlueUp platform. Once you've created the online event and selected speed networking for the webinar type, you need to go into registration settings, click on the registration options, which will bring you to this page right here. At the very bottom, you'll see speed networking settings. As the event organizer, you have the option to set up the duration of the one-on-one meetings by selecting the available options at 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and 8 minutes. So you see here, I've selected 5 minutes for the duration of the one-on-one meetings. Another great thing about the speed networking is that you have the power to set up the duration of the session breaks. So again, you see here I've selected 30 seconds, but you do have the option to select between 15 seconds all the way up to 5 minutes for the duration breaks. So once you've completed the registration settings and options, you can go into the attendee list and add an attendee. So you can see here under category for the attendee, I've selected host as a host of this speed networking event called Connect and Build Relationships Virtually. Just a few things that I want to point out. As the host, you have the option to start the networking session without an intro broadcast. Or you also have the other option, which is to start the session with an intro broadcast, meaning that you can basically speak to all of the attendees, which is a one-way communication. They won't be able to say anything back. Obviously, you can see here, you can basically have all of your attendees communicate with you through the event room by sharing their comments. Another thing to pay attention to is that you can track all of your participants who are now online and waiting. So you can see that we are now at 100% checked in. It also tracks all of your engagement in terms of how many messages have been posted. And of course, what I mentioned before, when you set up the speed networking event, you can basically see the networking event settings. Session duration has been set up for 2 minutes for the one-on-one meetings. And then in between each meeting, there will be a 15-second session break. First, let me quickly, I will just, by example, send out a quick broadcast announcement. Welcome, everybody. Okay, let's begin by pressing on the, clicking on the button called Start with Intro Broadcast. Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Speed Networking event, Connect and Build Relationships Virtually. I am your host. My name is Will, and thank you for joining us. So just a quick, a few housekeeping items. So to your right-hand side, as you guys have all discovered already, you have your event room where you're able to post a lot of your comments and any feedback that you have. You can also use this as a way to get to know the other attendees. And in addition, you have this other tab at the top next to the event room called Attendees. In this list is everybody in this event. You also have the option here at on the right-hand side of each name. You have the ability to share your digital business card with all of your contact information with whoever it is you want to include in your network. Additionally, down here at the bottom below your screen, you'll be able to see your paying sponsors and partners. You'll be able to use this speed networking as a way to monetize for sponsorships. In terms of what I'm going to start, so after this broadcast, I will click on the end broadcast and start networking button. Our state-of-the-art algorithm will randomly pair up each of the attendees with one another, basically mimicking the value that you would get from a face-to-face networking opportunity if it was in person. During the meeting, feel free for all of you attendees to write notes, exchange digital business cards, and of course, get to know one another. Let's go ahead and get started. Where are you from, John?
I'm from Manila, actually.
There he is. Hello, Oliver. How are you, sir?
Nice, thank you.
Wait, is your video working now? You can see me, right?
I can see you.
Okay. And we can just stop sharing. So that was our speed networking tool. And if you want more information on that, how it works, to see it kind of more up close, I don't know how much more up close you can get than the behind the scenes tour that my colleagues gave you. But if you are interested, just reach out. Again, I believe I've spoken with everybody, so I think everybody has my contact info, but just in case, if my colleagues wouldn't mind maybe spamming my email address or their email address as well. Either way, really appreciate you all tuning in. That kind of concludes what I had prepared for today. There's more stuff that we got coming, and next month, generally last Friday of the month, expect for another one of these, and we will record this. So I did promise that we would go over Q&A, and so that's always my favorite part anyway. So let's take a look at what everyone is asking. Is there a chance to see recurring charge feature in a membership renewal screen? I'm curious where it shows as part of the process. That is a great question. And it was an anonymous question. For sake of time, and just because I don't have a great example to show you, whoever asked that, could you please just send me an email? Or if anybody wants to just see this, send me an email. I can shoot you back a screenshot. It's basically found on the pricing screen. So when they go to enter their information for their credit card payment, there are two options. There's two bullets that says one is recurring payment and one is not. Apologies, I don't have anything to show you exactly right now. Just it would take a few minutes for me to set up a fake membership to look at, but I promise, just reach out to me. I'll send you back some screenshots so you can take a look. Just got one come through. Megan asks, will you guys be installing a meeting option? AKA, if I want to have a team call with 5 to 6 people, we'll be able to hear each other with the Zoom skin option. Definitely part of some things that we are reviewing for the future. Currently, our webinar engagement solution only works with webinars, kind of what you're seeing right now. It is a small limitation that we cannot currently integrate with meetings. So yeah, but great question, Megan. Appreciate it. Edward asks, which is a better option for US customers, Stripe, Paygage, or Braintree? So definitely US customers cannot integrate with Stripe. Unfortunately, just not possible. We just don't integrate with Stripe in the US. Paygage is always going to be the better option. has lower fees, and you get more control over your payments. You get the ability to, issue with refunds, all that good stuff. Anonymous attendee, does the data validation only apply on event registration? Currently, yes. In the next, I would say probably month or two, it will also apply to memberships. And what will also happen there is people will be able to log in and do that kind of at any time, not just to be prompted when they renew. So Anonymous asks that. Cool. So we got that one. Going through my list of questions. I think that is, oh, there we go. Can I tip my cap as to the 2021 roadmap? It is incredibly extensive, and I don't have everything off the top of my head. Some features we're planning to release will be the webinar engagement solution brought to you by GlueUp instead of Zoom. Another one will be later in the year, we are going to be doing session registration. We're going to be doing, later in the year, we'll be doing chapter management. We've got quite a few updates coming around existing stuff. So the information validation community is going to get even more updates. If there's anything in particular that you want to know about, if it's on our roadmap, reach out to me, and I can let you know where we are planning to have that. Because I know that one of the most important pieces of information that you all can have, and we try to be 100% transparent about, is what's next. What can you expect from GlueUp? So yeah, if I didn't mention it, or maybe we've talked about it previously, and you want to check on where the status is, just reach out to me. I'm happy to discuss further. We have a virtual conferencing tool that'll be coming out. We have all kinds of different stuff. Integrating emojis, that's a good idea. As a personal, a big fan of emojis, maybe too much. I'm with you. That would be pretty fun. Agreed. But maybe the ASCII characters are a little more fun for now. So yeah. Cool. So that one's done. That one is done. That one is done. Sorry, just want to make sure I do not miss any questions. Okay, that looks to be all the questions in the Q&A. I will probably stop recording now, but I just want to give everybody maybe a minute or two more to get your questions in, because we're happy to have a discussion as long as needed. But if there are no other questions, we'll probably wrap up for the day. So with that all being said, as always, thank you so much for joining us. I hope that you find this to be useful. This is something that we started doing last year. Admittedly, things kind of got, with the pandemic, with the kind of real growth that GlueUp was having, got a little bit lost in the mix. And going forward, we're going to do everything in our power to bring you more stuff. We heard from you as part of our survey that one of the things that seemed to be on the top of everyone's mind was just updates on new features. And so you're going to be seeing more emails from us, more webinars, just trying to be more in touch with you all to let you know everything. Be completely transparent about what is an add-on, what's not, and try to really bring you some value, no matter what solution you're using at GlueUp. We're pretty confident that you're going to see some awesome changes here in 2021. So I do see one other Q&A came in. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? I would have said the Browns, but as it stands, I can't make a prediction. I feel like I'll be wrong, and then I'll have egg on my face. So I'll just go with the Browns. We'll win the next Super Bowl. With that all being said, really appreciate your time. Please reach out if we can be helpful. I think you all have at least been introduced, or if you haven't, my colleague Tony is now on the team helping out, doing a wonderful job of just trying to be more actively in front of you all about changes that have come to the system and trying to make sure that you all are as up to date as possible. So thank you so much for joining us. We're a little bit over, but I really appreciate you all taking the time. And yeah, be on the lookout for the video of this afterwards. Share it with your colleagues. And if anybody wants to know more, just reach out. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great rest of your day.